If you had invested just $10,000 in the Zoom when it went public, which was a little over a year ago, you would have made over $74,000, and that's in just a single year. Imagine if you have invested $20 or $30,000, you could have purchased a house without a mortgage. The stock's price has been all over the roof since the pandemic took place, but Doom wasn't the only stocks that giant so much for the pandemic, but pretty much every other companies. However, now is probably the worst time to invest because the bubble is at its peaks. The company is in the recessions, but the Fed can't stop printing money, and that's the only reasons why everything hasn't crashed yet. How big is that crash is going to be, nobody knows. When exactly will happen, nobody knows. But things will definitely be messy to a certain extent. And you don't want to sit aside and just watch how everyone is getting wealthier. So let's find out the five stocks that are going to survive the next crash and will be sold at a huge discount and will double or triple in the next few years. Hi, Wednesday Mind. Before we move on, if you want to learn how to analyze companies like professional investors and find out if a certain company is a good investment or not, you have to take this course by the Skillshare because it will teach you everything professional investors use to value the company. And it is taught business as casual. I have taken the course. In short, animated and worth your time. Skillshare is the online learning community for the creatives where the millions comes together. To take the next steps, I will the creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of the inspiring classes for the creative and curious people on the topics, including illustrations, design, photography, videos, freelancer, and more. All that is for the less than $2 a month with the annual subscriptions. But because you guys are the best audience in the entire YouTube, the first 1,000 of you click on the link in the descriptions will get 2 months free trial on a premium membership, so you can start to explore your creativity. By the way, you will be surprising that channel by the signing out to Skillshare. And now let's get back to the video. The first stocks is VTI. It's Vanguard ETF that primarily focus on the tech companies. It's one of the ETFs that I personally invest in and would gradually suggest it to anyone else. When you buy a single VTI stocks, you are literally buying a small portion of the 3,500 other US stocks because the invites in the small mind and large capability companies. Its biggest sectors is technology. Tech companies makes up over 21% of the entire portfolio, with Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Google making up the majority. Technology is the future because in this field innovations is endless. However, we think that we have reached the peak that tech companies surprise us with another revolution products or services. Just think about how different life was just 10 years ago. As long as the tech company is growing, these stocks will definitely rise. In the last crash bank in March, it was 35% of its value in a single month, but it quickly recovered since tech companies have surged. Of course, returns aren't super high like some tech stocks, but it's a super safe investments with the huge potential. Since its inception in 2001, its average return is 7.12%. But when the market is down and if you buy it at discount, you can sweep well and be confident that your money is both safe and you will make the decent return on your investments. But for those who are a little more aggressive, aggressive and want a much higher return, Facebook is one of the best options. Before you write down negative comments saying you don't understand anything about the stocks market, Facebook has reached its full potential and ain't going to grow like it used to. Please give me the chance to explain my point. I wouldn't say I like Facebook, but this numbers of the active users has been increasing every year by the average of the 28% in the 2019. And as the number of the internet users keep growing, there is no reason why Facebook numbers of the users won't be growing as well, especially since the amount of the monopoly. It owns Instagram that already has over the billion users, and it's going tremendously. Since Facebook has the total numbers of the 2.7 billion users, they are all potential Instagram users. On the top of that, Facebook is preparing its version of the TikTok, which will be called Instagram Reels. With all the structure that TikTok is going through, Facebook is the best positions to replace it. US isn't the only place where TikTok might be banned completely, but also India, where it's already banned and it might get banned in the EU as well. It's one of the companies that will definitely join the $1 trillion club. It's just a matter of the time. So when the market crashed again, it's one of the stocks I will be watching carefully. However, it's not the only company that might join the $1 trillion club soon, because Visa is on the rise as well. Visa doesn't sound as cool as the Tesla, and there isn't any hype around it, but this company provides the essential services that will keep expanding year after year. The war on the cash started back in the 1990s when the internet companies took off. It's not going to end until cash either completely disappear or make up the small percentage of the market. Throughout the centuries, we have moved from barter to commodities to the gold and finally to the paper money. And now it's time for the move to the digital currencies. Some countries have completely moved to the digital money, others are still lagging behind, but the trend is definitely heading to the cashless society, and the leading company is industry is Visa. And guess what? The pandemic is only going to accelerate this growth because social distractions is the new reality. Currency, the company is valued to the little over $400 billion, and many experts the company to hit the $1 trillion valuation in the next 3-4 years. It's one of the few companies that I think are not overvalued now, but if the market crash, Visa will most likely to lose the significant chunk of its value as well, which it makes it a perfect opportunity. But it's time to move to the next stocks on this list. It might sound a little controversial because it's the stocks that's impossible to predict. Yes, I'm talking about Tesla. Elon Musk managed to wipe the floor with the Wall Street. Wall Street was confident that the Tesla shares are going to fall, so they shorted the stocks. If you don't know what's the short term, we have explained that in the previous video. The link will be in the descriptions. The risk with short term is that as the stocks keeps rising, investors keep losing money. At some point, the stock simply skyrocketed to the point where investors thought if they aren't going to exit their positions, they might as well go bankrupt and purchase Tesla stocks, with the made stocks rise even further. Tesla is no longer the startup that's hardly trying to survive. It's the most valuable automaker in the world, and it's already profitable. Of course, paying 1,500 for a single stocks is insane now. It has forward PA ratio in the 137, which gives it a tiny room for the growth. But if it falls significantly, then it's one of the stocks that's worth buying if you intend to invest long term. And finally, my favorite company, Apple. It's the company that knows how to build great products, charge premium, and still manage to sell a ton of them. However, what probably separates it from the rest of the world is that they have built an ecosystem that's super difficult to leave if you get into it. And it all starts with one product. Once you get an iPhone, you realize that you need the AirPods. Since you already have the iPhone and the AirPods, it makes sense to replace your computer with the Mac or iPad. I have seen rumors that the economy is working on its next big things, Apple glasses. However, Apple is more focused on the expanding its services. Last year, Apple services segment posts revenue of the 46 billions, and it will keep rising as the company is now focused on the building its Apple Arcades, Apple TV, and so on. The company safe is the $1 and will keep growing. Keep your eye on the stocks, especially when the market crashed again. And if you want to analyze stocks like the professional investors, then doesn't forget to check out the sponsor Skillshare. The link in the descriptions. Other than that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell beside it. Thanks for watching, and until next time.